welcome back to another video. Thanks for joining me on my channel. Today we're going to be having a look at some more artillery battleship builds and trying to counter those builds. Now you may notice I sound a little bit different. I've got a new microphone set up and playing it through an XLR system, so hopefully it's an improvement, but it's a work in progress. So let me know if the sound, you don't think it sounds quite right, need some adjustments. Maybe there's some audio experts amongst you out there and can direct me to some good software I can filter the audio through. I want to get some good software as well to work with. So let me know in the comments if you've got any suggestions in that area. So jumping into our first battle, we've got our artillery battleships, which are proving very powerful, defeated our laser giga cannon fleet in the previous videos. We've got the same setup here, line combat computers, mix and armor, shields, the decoder with the tracking and chance to hit, which gives us basically 100% accuracy on all of our weapons. And opposing this fleet will be our Cloud Lightning fleet with focused arc emitter, also line combat computer. Accuracy is already 100% on the Cloud Lightning and the focused arc emitter, so I don't expect this to help. It just make sure we get within about 60 range so the Cloud Lightning fires. We're using the shield capacitors just to boost our shields up to see how bypass weapons will work against an artillery design. Also, for those wondering what my setup is, I do have Militarist on. So we've got plus 10% fire rate. We've got Distinguished Admiralty for plus 10% fire rate as well. So that gives fire up. That affects both fleets because they're both part of my empire. And we do have Supremacy running. So we'll get the extra fire rate from that as well. So if you're trying to replicate this build completed, that's maybe why. And also I've got the Archaeotech Engineers because we are using, well, not in this build, but we will be using the Saturator, Ancient Saturator in a few of the tests. Let's find out what happens.
Hostiles engaged.
Okay, all the X-Slot weapons opening up. They've lost 2 battleships straight away, 3. Oh, they've lost, they've lost quite a lot. Let's just pause this, have a look. So that's the battleship fleet. And that's the focused arc emitter fleet. You can see the damage output here. Focused arc emitters in front actually have the Tachyon Lance, which is actually surprised. Well, I guess it's damage to hull, they're going straight through, so yeah. Tachyon Lance damage to armor, that's to be expected. And Kinetic Artillery, yep. So accuracy, everything across the board is 100%. It's a straight out shootout at close range. Who's gonna win? So it looks like, well, it's pretty close. Although there's lots of these ships are retreated actually. So yeah, that's our artillery fleet. Our artillery fleet is losing to the bypass fleet, and that's the retreated fleet. They've already retreated. So they didn't take that many losses. So our winning design was this. In this scenario, the bypass weapons completely obliterated the artillery fleet. When it comes into range, I suspect that if there's an artillery range using an artillery computer, it may be a little bit different because the 60 range on the Cloud Lightning may not be enough to keep within range of the artillery battleships. But this was a pretty good victory, so that's a good counter to artillery battleships if people are using that. But what we're going to do is next battle we're going to try with some armor hardening and shield hardening instead of the extra accuracy and see if that will counter the Cloud Lightning and bypass build. So for this battle we've still got our same fleet here, artillery, Tachyon Lance, line combat computer. Only change is we've got reactive armor and shield hardening to give us a bit of extra hardness versus these bypass weapons. So we should hopefully have less damage. No change to the Cloud Lightning fleet whatsoever. So we're just seeing if the Cloud Lightning can still overcome the hardening or if the artillery regain the advantage.
We're under attack. Time to dance.
Both the X-Slot weapons opening up, all the Cloud Lightning firing straight away. You can already see they're not losing as many ships. The Cloud Lightning is losing more ships. Kinetic Artillery is at 92% accuracy now because we don't have those decoders. But they're still doing a lot of damage, and the focused arc emitters are not getting through, doing as much damage. You see the damage output here. Tachyon Lancers are in front now, just barely. The focused arc emitters were in front last battle. Tachyon Lancers, yeah, good to armor. Kinetic Artillery, yeah, the focused arc emitters are down, so that's the hardening there. And the Cloud Lightning working. And focused arc emitters damage to shields and Cloud Lightning, so that's the hardening there as well. So we can see the battle looks like it's turned on its head with a bit of hardening added to the fleet. So if you're running artillery battleships coming up against bypass weapons, make sure you include your hardening technologies. You can see there the fleet power is dropping rapidly. Only got a few ships left now. It's still killing a few ships. You can see the hull points are way down. There you go, they're gone. So they lost, what's that, 12 battleships all up. And the Cloud Lightning fleet was completely destroyed. So that's 33,000, nearly 34,000 alloys to repair that, and 20,000 for the artillery battleship fleet. All right, let's jump into another test. So for this fight, we've gone back to our standard artillery ship design of line combat computers and the decoder for the extra accuracy, so we keep the artillery at 100% accuracy. Opposing them, we're trying a plasma battleship build with our ancient saturator artillery. So this was suggested by some comments, so we're going to give plasma a try and see how it goes. We are using a line combat computer as well. Good mix of armor and shields, and we are using the shield capacitors in this battle just to boost the shields and see if we can last a little bit longer and try and overpower the kinetic artillery with plasma. And we do have the Archeo engineers giving us a boost to our weapon damage as well for that ancient saturator. Let's jump straight in and see what happens.
Hostiles engaged.
You can see both X-Slot weapons opening up. Lost 2 ships. Lost 2 now. It was pretty even exchange. I lost a couple more. Oof. We've lost a lot of battleships early. I think that was a bit of an RNG there. That was about the worst result I've seen from them. There's not a huge difference. No, that's just a firepower now. There's too many retreats going on. If it wasn't for those big early hits, that might have been a more equal battle. But yeah, they just lost a lot of the ships there in a retreat bug. The accuracy, once again, was 100%, pretty much across the board, even for the ancient saturator. Tachyon Lance doing a lot of damage. Kinetic Artillery are 1 and 2, so that's the problem. The ancient saturator is doing a lot of damage to shields. Oh, they're still behind. Oh no, that's their retreat. Yeah, they've retreated, so those stats disappeared, unfortunately. Alright, so the plasma did not do that well in that setup. Let's try another setup. So for this setup, we've got our same setup we had last time, except we've added in 3 lots of nanite repair, as that was another comment that some people have made, that try this so that we can repair at a faster rate. Although I do believe this works at 1/10 the actual stated speed here, or regen, once it's in combat. So the 3 of these would be giving 6% armor regen a day and 4.5% daily hull regen from what I recall, but please correct me if I'm wrong, if anyone knows the exact figures, but I believe that's how regeneration works while in combat. Everything else is the same, no changes at all, against our same fleet of artillery, which has been winning most of the fights except against the Cloud Lightning, but with a bit of hardening, they prevail once again. Let's find out.
Hostiles engaged.
Down 2 battleships to 2. No, down 6. You just see they just keep losing so much of those burst tachyon weapons. Tachyon Lance does so much opening punch. You see there. Ancient Saturator at 93%. That's because they don't have the decoder. Pause it here for a second. So that's the plasma fleet. We're down to 21 versus 24. Firepower is a little bit different. The Tachyon Lance and Kinetic Artillery are in front. Damage to hull. Tachyon Lance again in front. Damage to armor. Plasma, large plasmas. Doing a lot. Still not enough. And obviously Ancient Saturator has done a lot to the shield damage. We can see here the shields on both sides are nearly completely gone. See if the plasma can turn this around. It's pretty even armor. Slight advantage to this side. Oof. There's more retreated fleets. That's why the firepower is dropping so quickly. So they lost 36 battleships all up. So that was a better result. They were more tanky with that repair, but they're still just not doing enough damage to beat the Kinetic Artillery, even with the repair system. And we can see the losses. The plasmas lost 21 versus 16. So that will cost 26,000 alloys to repair that. And that one we don't know, but that will be a little bit more anyway. All right, how can we beat this artillery fleet? I think I've got one idea how we can do it. For this battle, what I've done is I've decided to stack more armor. This is what players tend to generally do anyway because of the extra armor points that you get instead of shields. You can see there you get 1320 shield hit points versus 1740. That's what people tend to do in PvP matches. They tend to stack more armor. So we'll go with that, and that will actually work with our armor regen nicely because we've got more armor that have a daily regen rate. So we should be getting more armor regen. And obviously with the artillery, we'll have a harder time getting through the armor due to their debuffs. So we've only one shield. So that puts this battle a little bit in favor of this fleet, although we're still using pretty standard technology, except for the nanites, which you can get through the L cluster. Fighting the nanites, you can get it through Cosmogenesis, you can get it through going through the nanite ascension as well. And I think there's another way from memory. Just can't remember the fourth way. There was some other way, I believe. Okay, versus our artillery fleet, which is unchanged. Right, and in the next battle, to make it fair, we will stack more shields and compare the results as well. So this one is just to stack armor for the plasma, and we'll see how the battle unfolds.
We're under attack. Time to dance.
Slot exchange. Still losing 4 or 5 battleships. Only lost 2. You can see the armors seems to be holding up. Actually regenerating a little bit. Ooh, let's just pause this. So the battleship fleet has lost more ships now. The firepower has dropped. What's the accuracy on this? The Ancient Saturator is 97%. Everything else is 100. We've got Tachyon Lance doing a lot of damage again. Ancient Saturator is doing more damage. The hull, probably because there's not much armor to actually, not much shields to actually get through, so they're actually getting damage to the hull. Armor's being obliterated by the large plasma there, and the Tachyon Lance is also obliterating it. You can see here, well, they've got more armor because we stacked more armor, whereas there's less there to actually burn through. And the Ancient Saturator is obviously shredding those shields, and the Kinetic Artillery shredded the other shields. close in numbers, not so much in firepower. Too many ships are retreated. The artillery fleets are going down quite quickly now. You can see that's just how quickly this battle has been flipped on its head. Has that retreated? Yep, they're gone. So we lost 14 battleships all up. And the opposing fleet was completely destroyed. And that's the benefit of using plasma. Plasma is a very destructive weapon. So our winning design was stacking the extra armor with no other real changes. It was just 2 extra armor rather than 2 extra shields. And that turned the battle in our favor because the kinetic obviously has a lot harder time getting through the armor. Although you do have the Tachyon Lance still there to burn through that armor, but it's just not enough. And combined with the regen, it just makes this fleet more tanky and survivable. Alright, so let's now jump into another battle. Let's give more shields to the artillery fleet and see how that pans out. So for this fight, I had to actually upgrade the power core to dark matter reactors because you just can't have more than 3 shields with the power restraints with a level 5 reactor. So I had to go dark matter, so you can't do this unless you've got dark matter tech. So it may not be a feasible build for many people if you haven't gone down that route, either killing fallen empires or cosmogenesis. They've got 2 extra shields instead of the armor. They've got a lot extra shield, so that should make our plasma work less efficiently against these shields. And we still have the decoders, line combat computer, everything else is the same. Against our fleet which won last time, the same amount of armor, 1 shield, nanite repair, line combat computer, same plasma, and the ancient saturator. Now interesting will be to watch how much damage the ancient saturator does this time with a lot of shields to actually damage. So I think what's been happening is there wasn't enough shields to make the ancient saturator work to its full efficiency when you see the 150% shield damage. So we'll pay particular attention to that. I think that will be key to this battle.
Hostiles engaged.
All right, X-Lot weapons firing. Two ships down, 3 on this side, 2 on this side. So have a look at the damage. Large plasma getting through to the hull. The ancient saturator's got through to the hull already. Tachyon Lance, damage to armor, which we expect. Kinetic Artillery's up there, damage to armor. The ancient saturator's already in the opening seconds done 212, nearly 213,000 damage. The shield's at 250% efficiency. So yeah, that's a huge amount of damage. So you can see there, ooh. What's the accuracy here? Ancient saturator is 95, everything else is 100. You can see there the big difference in firepower now. They've lost a lot of ships, have retreated. More have been destroyed as well. 7 more have been destroyed and probably more have retreated. You can see the shields are nearly down. Their armor's holding up nicely. Not much damage to hull. They've lost a fair bit of damage to hull. That is the artillery fleet as well. They're getting absolutely slaughtered. I think this done worse. Stacking shields, to be honest. Yeah, it is. Yeah, they got obliterated. And what happened there was the ancient saturator was working to its full potential. That's what happened. So stacking shields when someone's using an ancient saturator against you is not a good idea. So what I take from this battle is that armor and plasma, and we could probably try lasers as well, has more potential to outcompete artillery, because you can stack armor repair with the armor, which gives it a more survivability. It's more tanky. And the ancient saturator, when it's used against more shield heavy opponents, just obliterates them. Absolutely. But it's like the Tachyon Lance with people stacking more armor and less shields. It'll just do a huge amount of damage. And because you've got 150% bonus. Plus you've got Archaeotech doing another 33%. The damage is just astronomical, and that's why they got obliterated when we went more heavier shields. It was the Ancient Saturator doing massive damage. So the previous battle was actually better, having a good split of armor and shields with the Kinetic Artillery. It was more survivable because the Ancient Saturator was not able to be as efficient due to the higher armor ratio. So how would we beat this fleet? So this fleet has beaten the Kinetic Artillery twice with the Tachyon Lance now, even though we gave the artillery a bigger bonus with having the Dark Matter Reactor and the more shields, which was basically a step up in technology from what we're using here. I guess you could say it was sort of equal because we're using some ancient Archaeotech there, and we've got some nanite repair there. So you could say, I guess it was roughly equal because we used the Dark Matter Reactor on the other fleet. But it worked out worse. Stacking the shields worked out worse because it worked straight into this guy's trap with the damage output. So I'm not sure how we could beat this fleet. Yeah, it's pretty strong. I'd like to try this with lasers as well, but I'll leave that for another video because I'm out of time today. So let me know what you think. We found a strong counter to the Kinetic Artillery in the line combat computer. Not sure how this battle would go at artillery ranges. Maybe it'll be a different result. We'd have to test that to see, but that's a good counter for artillery, and it's very achievable. Alright guys, give me some comments, give me some feedback on what you think on this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.